New tonight, evictions continue to spike in Maricopa County. Just last week, we told you that in August alone, 8,000 eviction cases were filed. That's the second highest month ever recorded.
12 News journalist Colleen Sikora spoke to those advocates and renters today, demanding lawyers for the people that are facing evictions.
These advocates are calling for permanent funding to a temporary program, saying the investment the city would make would actually save the city money in the long run.
I am somebody!
Voices raised seeking help for tenants like Misha Fish,
I knew that the eviction was granted. I just thought we had more time.
who didn't have an attorney when she went through the eviction process 6 years ago.
I'm unprepared. He knocks at the door. I answer, and he says, "You have 1 hour. Grab whatever you can carry." I had no resource. I had no recourse to what was going on. I had no shelter.
An experience shared by many in Maricopa County.
Really is an uneven balance of power when we have landlord attorneys versus pro-per tenants, and it's the pro-per tenant who is facing the loss of their house.
As nearly all landlords are represented in eviction cases, and nearly all tenants are unrepresented.
We look to see if there's legal merit. If we make sure the amounts are right, we can file motions. We check all of these things, and even if there's no legal merit, and the tenant that the landlord did everything right, then we can negotiate with the landlord to try to work out a settlement so that tenant doesn't get an eviction on their record.
Legal help, advocates from the Take Back Our Homes campaign, elected leaders and residents say is needed permanently in Phoenix.
Some may ask, why should the government pay for tenants' lawyers? The answer is simple. Because we already pay for the consequences of evictions, and those costs are far higher.
Phoenix City Councilwoman Keisha Hodge Washington points to Philadelphia, which invested $3.5 million in right to counsel since February 2022 in select zip codes.
And they're estimating the cost savings to be $45.2 million in savings. I think that's a worthwhile investment.
While Phoenix has invested federal funding in right to counsel on a temporary basis, Hodge Washington and the advocates want to see it become permanent.
We can see a significant reduction in homelessness, a continued reduction in homelessness as we address one of the root causes.
Now the Phoenix Industrial Development Authority is financing a cost-benefit analysis to understand what the impact could be in Phoenix.
What do you think right to counsel would have afforded you 6 years ago?
I think probably I would have come to a mediation because I wasn't on bad terms with my landowner until I could not pay the rent.
Seeking action for those facing losing their homes.
Most Arizonans don't put in perspective they are one illness. They are one child being ill, loss of job. They are one paycheck away from losing their shelter and going through this process.
Colleen Sikora, 12 News.
All right, Colleen, thank you.